Hi guys, sorry we're late, sorry we're late, sorry we're late. Hi guys, welcome to the Next Generation Baller Show. I'm your host, DPLP Coach. You know how it goes, you know how it goes. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Yes, we are sponsored by your guy, Self Me Savage. Get your 20 plus, yes, that's your 20 plus discount code. We got a big giveaway coming out. Don't forget as well, today, yes, we've finally got the interview coming out with Armando Jr. Yes, Armando Jr. having a good season at Waterford. Very interesting interview. Don't forget, if you're not subscribing, go and subscribe. Hit the notifications on your bell. It's coming at 7 o'clock today, so make sure you look out for that. Don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the show. Plenty more big interviews coming up. Yes, we got it coming up, but this is the preview show. Yes, it's the preview show. International's over. Weekend football's back. I know we're gassed. So yeah, we'll kick it off. You know, we kick it off. Like everyone's been talking. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to talk about first of all. As everyone can see, you probably see my much better mood. Yeah, so what I want to talk about is a bit about mental health. So I've been talking about a lot about my social media and stuff that finally I've been able to receive help for issues that I've received for a long time that had been for health for say last 6 years now. Finally gone out and taken the help that I needed, and I feel in a good place, especially like had my first appointment on Thursday with my psychiatrist, and after that I've been feeling so good, like just knowing that you just got that professional help. That's the main thing that I was trying to get to people. Like we all go through issues and certain things, but like yeah, it's all right to talk to people. Yes, open up and speak, but the main thing is go out there and get that professional help. Once you go out there and get that professional help, like, I'm telling you, it's the step. It's the step taking you further. So get in tune for that. So yeah, man, we'll kick off the show. We'll kick off the show and we'll start off. You know how it's, you know how you gotta start. We gotta start. So we gotta kick it off. CR7 back. Yes, we know we've been talking about it. Don't forget the previous show. If you haven't watched it, we talking about me, Zach, and Sam Supreme. We got in there. We spoke about Ronaldo signing his impact. Talked about how maybe he might stunt Greenwood's growth. Me personally, I think that he's just gonna come in there and change the whole team and just bring us onto a next level. So CR7 is back for his debut against Newcastle, 5 p.m. kickoff, and it's the game. It's the game everyone's watching. It's not the biggest game of the weekend, but it is the biggest game because the greatest is back. The GOAT, he's home. I am home. Hey, we love that. We gotta love it. So Ronaldo's back, and we've seen his interviews come out. He's done a little coming out. We did a load of videos coming out, but recently May United released that video, and I think that's because Ronaldo's gonna start. And I think because we know we had the Varane thing with him coming out and the fanfare and all of that, but I think Ronaldo's like, listen, I've been here before. I'm home. This is my place. Just let the fans know I'm here. Little videos, but I'm starting this game. I'm coming out. I'm starting. And I think Ronaldo's here to do business. Him speaking with Wes Brown, like he's not here to play games. Like he said, I'm here. I'm here to win stuff. This ain't no vacation. Yeah, this ain't no vacation. He is coming back to win titles. Yeah, to win titles. So that's gonna be a boost for everyone. We've seen a lot of the players been talking about it. We've seen Van der Beek with his interview with Rio Ferdinand talking about how important players, when they come into a club, it just takes that one player where everyone just rises up, levels change. So it's really exciting to see what's going to be going on at Manchester United. And we talk about players rising. We've seen with Lukaku coming to Chelsea and how he's rised them up. We've seen Arsenal make a few signings. Like, can they get rised up? So we've seen the level getting boosted up in the Premier League. I know, really excited. And let's not forget about Liverpool as well with Konate. And well, there's a little bit of issues with considering Arsenal, but Liverpool, but we'll get that towards later in the show. But yeah, with Ronaldo coming back, it's good to see that everyone, the team, the levels just gone up crazy. Jack Grealish at Man City as well, most expensive player. Bring everyone's up. Everyone's on their toes. Everyone wants to play. Everyone's going to go. So this is the Premier League weekend is back, and it's exciting. And one thing I did wanna pick up on when it comes to the Ronaldo situation is because we've seen Wayne Rooney talk. Very interesting. Wayne Rooney talking about Ronaldo this week, talking about how he feels that Ronaldo can go and play on to 40. And it's funny that because I put even put a post out. You see, guys, put a post out on social media. Don't forget as well, guys. If see below there, follow us on social medias as well, and don't forget me as well. I'm a football coach as well. I've got my own football team. Go and follow us there. We got exciting things coming up there. League starting on this Saturday, no Sunday, sorry, and also we have training. If you guys want to get involved, so get there and get down and get involved. So, yeah, so Rooney, yeah, back to Rooney. So Rooney talking about about Ronaldo. It's funny because he's saying that he feels that he can feels that he can play till 30. But for me, it's like, why, where are you, Rooney? Like, why did you go missing? Like, for me, if I was Rooney's position, I'll be very embarrassed with all the stories that's been going on recently, and even his managerial career hasn't even gone up to the best. Like, he is Manchester United's all-time top goal scorer, as well as England's all-time top goal scorer. And Ronaldo, who was in the same team as Rooney, same age, is still playing and talking about he's going to play till 40. And Rooney looks like he's more than gone on less of it. And for me, for Rooney, I mean, even looked at it with the likes of Giggs. And for me, it's like, how can Rooney sit there and honestly like live with himself, knowing that the quality of player that he was, that he could have gone on and done great things. And for me, it's testament that he can still have gratitude and show gratitude to Ronaldo. But for me, I feel that Rooney should have been playing longer. And for me, he's one of my favourite players to ever play for Manchester United. And I love Rooney so much. And that's why it's even more disappointing for a fan like me to see Rooney talk about Ronaldo, a player that was in the same team as him. Like, he should be there with him now. Like, if Rooney really, people say he peaked too early, but boy, Ronaldo didn't seem like he peaked too early. He learned to adapt and evolve, and that's exactly what Rooney said. Adapt and evolved. Rooney adapted. Giggs adapted. So, why couldn't Rooney sustain it out? So that's a very very interesting story. So, big things. Ronaldo's back. Big game for Manchester United. I think Man United are gonna walk over Newcastle 3-4. I think Newcastle. The whole thing is just. I think it's just gonna get to them. The whole game, the whole camaraderie of it. Bruce even being a Manchester United former Manchester United player, the gaffer. I don't think it's going to be a good evening for them. So I don't really see anything going in there but a Man United win. Varane back, 3 players back in the training, so that one there looks swift. This show's a bit different because what I'm gonna start doing in these shows now as well, I'm gonna talk a bit about the Premier League teams. Everyone really knows about Premier League teams, but I'm gonna talk a lot about the youth and academy players that I want to talk about, and that's the key parts of the show. So, been for all the glamour and glitz and glamour, but now we're gonna start getting into the nitty gritty stuff, giving you guys what you want. Talking about the Next Gen Baller show, talking about the next gen. So, move on to the Arsenal game. Last chance saloon. That's another big game. I think it's another big game of the weekend. Big team in Arsenal sitting rock bottom of the Premier League. Rock bottom. 0.0 goals after 3 games. After the international break, got a lot of players back from injury. Partey, White, Turney, key players in. We've seen the interview coming in from Edo. Very strong, back in the club, back in the philosophy, back in the plan. See Arteta, back in himself, back in saying what Arsenal are trying to do. The fans have been ranting, been raving. We all know the story that's been going on with Arsenal. So can we see Arsenal get that victory? Can we see them finally get over the line? Norwich, they're playing Norwich at home, and Norwich haven't won. I don't think they've won. I think their last 20 Premier League, over 25 Premier League games, they've drawn 6 and lost 17. So I think this is the chance where Arsenal a draw is not acceptable. A must-win game, 4th game of the season, and we're talking about must-win games. But this is a must-win game for Arsenal. Can they go in there and win this game? If they go out there and win this game, then you can see Burnley. Their next 6 games, Burnley, and then they got Wimbledon in the Cup, Spurs, Brighton, and Crystal Palace. So if Arsenal can go and get a win here today, I can definitely see them pushing on and definitely starting their run in the season. So another big game of Arsenal going on this season today. So for me, with Partey and that back, I expect 4-5-0 win from Arsenal. Simple as that. Nothing else can cut it. Like, they need to go out there and win with a good performance. And for me personally, I thought they can do it with the new signings that they've got and the young blood that they can do it. Like, let's just hope Arsenal can actually get there, because it is banter, but like, they have got good players, and I want to see them players do well, especially the English players like Saka and Smith Rowe. So can Arsenal get over that line and start moving on? Other big games of the weekend. Before we move on to the young bulls, we got Crystal Palace versus Spurs coming up. We got Leicester versus Man City, Chelsea versus Villa, and Liverpool versus Leeds. Spurs against Spurs. There's a player. The player I wanted to talk about. We're going to talk about it in the comes from Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace versus Spurs today. I can see Crystal Palace getting a win. To be fair, I think this is a game where maybe Patrick Vieira can go and actually show something what he wants for this team, and I think it's a big game for Crystal Palace. They can go and get a win head today. I think that can start them off very well in the season. We all know Spurs had a good start to the season. Also a big game for them. Harry came back, scoring a goal in internationals, getting his full back for the boots. You know, he has a slow start, so it's good to see him starting early. So it's going to be a good game, that one. Leicester versus Man City. Leicester coming back, trying to rebuild from last season, missing out on the Champions League. They're trying to really push on. Got Adamana Lukman on loan from RB Leipzig. Really going to want to show Man City that they're here to play and here to go for it. So big game for Man City as well. They really lost the game this season to Spurs. So Man City really want to continue that winning run and start picking up them points, because they are playing catch up right now. Chelsea versus Villa. Tricky games. You know what? This season's very mad, because like, we all know who the favourites are. Say Chelsea won the favourites in the league, but Villa ain't an easy game. I know they've lost Grealish, but they had a slow start to the season. But it does seem to look like they still have that core identity of how they want to play. And Villa had a good season last season, and they have good players. They had a very good transfer window. So if these players can tick on and play, they can easily get a draw. If Villa got a draw against Chelsea, we wouldn't be surprised today. So for me, I see a Chelsea win, but I wouldn't be surprised with a Villa draw. And then also the game that's going on in the big game I want to talk about is Leeds versus Liverpool. Dan James coming back. Some saying that he might not start. You know how Bielsa is. He likes to bed players in. So interested to see if Dante starts. Rafael ain't starting, so can he maybe start him, considering the fact that we all know his quality, he's fit, and it's not the situation as it is if you're buying him during this the pre-season, and then everyone's doing pre-season, so you kind of want to bet him into that. But Dan James has played games for Manchester United at a high level. Manchester United, a top club, so can he go there and lead a start for Liverpool? Big game for Liverpool as well. Also, a lot of talk going on this weekend around the African players. Obviously, African Cup of Nations coming up this January. Going to lose two big players in Mane and Salah. Also talk about them players want to leave as well. Liverpool didn't really make any attacking signings during the transfer window. Only got in Kanate, who came from RB Leipzig. So interesting times at Liverpool. People saying that they've got players in the squad. You see Harvey Elliott starting a lot of games now. Obviously, you know they got Curtis Jones, and yeah, but it's interesting seeing, because it's so young strikers like Ryan Brewster, who scored in the internationals on under 21s, and some say maybe Jota's going to fill that role. Some say he might be Liverpool's Aguero. So maybe Jota can come in and fill that role, and maybe the younger players can fill in and supply Jota with them assists, so he can go on and finish. So yeah, that's the big ones we'll talk about for over the weekend when it comes to the big Premier League games. But yeah, what I wanted to focus on is the youth. So big. So you guys know there's also where you got the Premier League got big academy programs, big structures, big leagues, competitions, and what was going on. So we're gonna delve a bit into what we got going on recently. So we know that they call it the PL2. Also, the Premier League are the 23 players that will play in it, and also it's interesting because in this, what you will get is you also get Premier League players. I think you can select. I think it's about 2 or 3. I'm not too sure. I'm thinking maybe even more than that. But I think only a certain amount can play, and they can actually play So you can say maybe if a player just come back from injury, he's not really getting in the first 2 minutes, you can bring him in. So you see maybe Yao Malenko at West Ham, not really get that many minutes on the pitch, trying to get into the team. They'll put him into under 23 game, helps the younger boys playing with a boy that's more experienced but at their level kind of thing. So that's what you see going on now. So big, so you see games coming back from that as well, and you see all over the YouTube about them young ballers going there showing their tricks and skills. A lot of the goals, we started giving you guys some content as well. So if you're not under, don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on our social media, all of that good stuff, giving you all the bang content as well. And also, what we'll start with doing over the next course of a couple of weeks, we're going to be heading down to some of the games, heading down some games, getting a chat with the fans, start seeing who they feel, start seeing who the fans like, who they feel the next one is, who they feel is their favorite player, and we start getting a buzz going around. And don't forget as well, guys, we've got a giveaway coming out soon, and we got some street competitions. So we're going to be coming at you as well in loads of different out there content, street competitions. Just give you this, give you that. It's our first season, our first show. Just give us time. We're getting there. Don't forget, Self-Made Savage, our sponsor. Yes, 20% discount code. Your added 20% discount code. We've got some big things coming up for you. Just a whole collaboration with COVID and the manufacturers. But we're coming. Just give us time. So yeah, they're back. So we start off on today. We've got 2 games today actually. You've got Brighton under 23s against Blackburn under 23s. Then you've got Everton under 23s against Derby under 23s. But main games on Saturday. These are where the ballers are at, yeah. Couple good ballers are at these teams. No disrespect to the other teams, but we went to the focus just because of time and the limit of the show. Just want to focus on the big games that are coming up on this Saturday. So first big game I want to talk about is Arsenal under 23s against Manchester United under 23s. We've all been seeing talk about Charlie Paninto. Sorry if I got that correct, Paninto. Also, talk about Charlie Paninto, Sean O'Connor, the guy who got scouted Jack Wilshere, has touted to say that Charlie Paninto is the best talent that he feels is going to come out of Hale End. And that's a big statement. Big statement from the man himself, considering the players that's come out of there, your Smith Rowes, your Sackers, your Reece Nelsons, and your Maitland Niles. So it's interesting in coming from that, and he's had a good start to the season. Very good player, silky, good number 10, can play very multiple positions in the front and also in the attack. So very good young player. And you know, with Arsenal, how they set up, you have, even as Saka will say himself, he can play in various different positions. We've seen it in the Premier League, we've seen left, seen right, seen playing left back, we've seen playing left wing back. So this is the traits that you should get out Arsenal players that can play in various different amount of positions. And I think with Charlie Panito, you get that in abundance. You get a player that literally can play anywhere on the pitch, and still to carry on that at that age, I think that just sets you apart from the rest, because that just shows your football intelligence, your football nous. Like you're able to read and understand the game to a high capacity, where you can play in different other positions, where for some players it's such a struggle to understand one position and the complexities of that one position. So to even understand two is very good, but to play 3, 4, 5, 6 positions and understand that to a high level, that's a quality player. That's an outstanding talent, and that seems to be what's touted about Charlie Pinto, a player that can play in various positions, both-footed, very good strike, lots of assists, good goals ratio. So it's going to be a good, interesting game for Arsenal. Also, as well, young player that I want to talk about is Tyler Hart. Yeah, Arsenal rumours that he was going to leave. He just, like, a player that's really touted in the academy, a player that wants to go on and just get out there and play football. Like a lot of what you can see right now, especially when it comes to the Chelsea. I'll talk about Chelsea a lot. A lot of the players just they've left the academy. They've left. They want to go out and play. You see it in the transfer window, with Limamito gone to Southampton, with Gaizi gone to Crystal Palace, with Boyega gone. So a lot of players deciding to leave Chelsea Academy. Bate, Lewis Bate, a lot of players just deciding, you know what, I've had enough at Chelsea. I'm not getting the first 10 minutes. I don't think I'm going to go get it. I need to go out and play football. And credit to them, benefit to them. They said, you know what, thanks Chelsea, but it's time for me to move. And that was the rumours that was going to happen with Tyler Hart. but Arsenal managed to convince him to say they're going to stay, just carrying on, to push on and go into that team. And as you can see from Charlie as well, from Kai, is that he's a very, very athletic, dynamic, attacking player. Scored 2 goals in his last game against Spurs in a 2-1 win. Arsenal coming off a good back victory. So he's a good young talented player. And for me, I see, as well as Charlie Pinto, I see him, and as well, what's his name? Amari Hutchinson. Amari Hutchinson. I see them 3 players, the next 3 players to get inside the next Arsenal setup. So for me, I feel them 3 players are definitely the 3 players that you should be looking at. Definitely in the Arsenal academy. There are 3 other names that we'll talk about as we go on into the shows. But them 3 players in particular are the 3 young players that you should be watching in the Arsenal 23s when it comes to this game. Arsenal started off the season all right. 2 draws, 1 win. That win that I just talked about was against Arsenal, so sitting decent in the table. So early starts in the season, and when it comes to these academy players, the points, yeah, in the end they mean something, but it's all about the individuals. It's all about that one player who's going to make it into that first team, who's going to break into that first team, and that's the most interesting thing. That's what's engaging and really intriguing about the academy setup. We've got all this exciting young talent just there, ready to boost and go. Like, who's going to make it? Who's going to be that next star? So they're the 2 players that's touted to be at Arsenal. With Manchester United, on the other hand, you can see that they've come into the start of the season a bit slow. And with Manchester United, it's a bit different because last season they had a very, very good season in the under 23. Just missed out on the title, but they had a lot of players that was training in the first team of Manchester United. You had Shoatiri, you had Charlie Hugo, who also come in there. You had McNeil, who trained for a little while, and you also had Hannibal, who also came in there for a while. And so a lot of them players trained in the Manchester United first team, and some of them also got in the squad. So sometimes when that happens, you don't always get to play the under 23 game because you're not available through travel, and sometimes it's not good for just your physical, just to travel, maybe traveling a lot and play a game at a certain time. So, but this season, they can see through that slow start because a lot of them players have continued. With Ronaldo being here now, like, I feel Manchester United are going to want to use the whole camaraderie and how the high intensity and the level of training, and to have them young players the young players that they feel in the Hannibals, in the Shoratiris, to be in that environment and see that and still train that environment and learn off them players. So I don't see them players featuring a lot in the under 23s. Yes, they'll play a lot of games, but I feel that with the mindset and how they were going to be treated with the level of training that's going to be at Manchester United now, considering it's so crazy we're talking like this over one player, but with Ronaldo back now, you can see that I will see even Fernandes and a young left back as well going in there. I can see them players training a lot in the first team and gain a lot of that experience. And maybe you might see in periods, you might see them training there for 1-2 months, a lot of the first team, they go play solid 4 or 5 months in under 23s, just coming in and out. But it's interesting how Ollie's going to play this because it's a very exciting times at Manchester United with the academy. And even though they haven't had a good start to the season, like I said, it's not all about points. And they're at a very luxurious place right now. We've already seen what Greenwood can produce. There are at least 3-4 players in that vicinity that they can feel that they can go on and play in the first team. Like, actually 3-4 players that definitely you can see getting some minutes in Manchester United this season, whether it be in the cup competitions or later on in the season. You're going to definitely see the likes of Shoretiri, Fernandes, and Hannibal get some minutes for Manchester United this season, hopefully bar injury, and they keep improving. So with this game, 2 talented teams both got off to all right. Arsenal got off to a better start than Manchester United. Good talent in your squads. But considering the way how it's going with these young players, just betting themselves in, I could see a draw, maybe a 2-2 draw. We're considering how where it is Arsenal being at home, I can maybe see Arsenal getting a win. Another young big academy game that's coming on today, on Saturday, is Man City versus Chelsea. So just spoke a bit about Chelsea. Talk about Man City first. Man City flying at the traps, top of the league. I think they've scored about 12 goals. 6 of them come from our player of the month is James McCarthy. James McCarthy. I'm gonna get it right. Sorry, I'm so bad with names, but I'll get it right. James McCarthy, smashing it. 6 goals in 3 games. Absolutely destroying it. Hat-trick against Manchester United in the last game, tearing it up in the league. And I always said I watched him and I've seen him play. And for me, it's not about is he good enough. For me, he's more than good enough. It's about can he handle the pressure. And for a lot of these young players, that's what it's about now in under 23s. They all have the ability to play a professional football, and they will play professional football, whether that's League One or League Two. But it's like, can they handle the pressure of playing the Premier League, Champions League football, top level football, international football? And that's what these top clubs will be looking for, them type of players. And the ones that they don't, you will end up seeing them playing Championship, League One, League Two football, because it's not to say they're not good enough to play the professional game, but at these academies we're looking for the top of the notch. So with that, we all know the lap lethal striker last season. Lethal striker. I think he got over 30 goals in the league last season. This season is really ripping it up in the league, and he's another young. I think had 2 appearances for Man City last season, and he's definitely going to be training with the Man City first team a lot, and definitely going to be getting a lot of minutes. But another young player that ripped it up, is ripping it up, is Liam Palmer. Liam Palmer, you see that Cruyff turn that he done against Kosovo in the under-21s, that beautiful goal in his debut. Had a brilliant season for Man City last season in the under-23s, and it looks like he's been training with the first team as well, and it looks like he's going to be at some first team minutes. And for me, I feel like that's the next one to come through. The way he plays, so dynamic, can play various positions off the front, off the midfield and wing positions. I can definitely see him getting a few minutes for Man City this season. Man City are top of the league as well with 7 points, with 2 wins and a draw. And to be fair, when we go and move on to Chelsea, like I was speaking about before, the Chelsea team have got off to a slow, the academy have got to a slow start. And I think with the Chelsea academy, I think this is a transition season. I think Chelsea have sold a lot of their top prospects that they would say that are their best academy players, in terms of players that they thought they was going to break into the Chelsea first team. But these players are too good to be playing for an academy team. These players are Premier League players. Some of them are playing in the Premier League right now, week in, week out, for Southampton and Crystal Palace alike, and others can more than crack it in the Championship, and just biding the time to get into Chelsea, into a first team. Sorry, but in Chelsea included. But the problem with Chelsea is the quality of the team that they've got and the money that they have as a club at their disposal. Chelsea, we all know, are able to sign any player that they want in the world for any price, considering the owners that they got. So with the young players seeing that with their pathway of getting to the first team, I think a lot of them are starting to make that decision that, hey, maybe Chelsea might not be the club for me right now. In terms of my development growing up as a kid, perfect. But now I want to go on and play and have a career in football, maybe Chelsea ain't a club for me. But it's hard for a lot of these young players, because a lot of them come from 8 years old, they build up attachment, they become fans. Up the dream of playing at a Chelsea first team, or am I going to do whatever I can to get into that first team, and might hit me 3-4 years when I know I should be playing professional football, and maybe hindering my international chances as well. So it's interesting to see what's going on at Chelsea. Big transition there, slow start to the season, haven't won a game yet. And I feel with Chelsea now, you may be seeing a lot of new players coming in there. I think Chelsea now going to start going on a big scouting mission and maybe trying to change what they've got, because they've lost a lot of the young star players, and a lot of players will be looking. Spurs versus Liverpool. Spurs, good start to the season. We also saw the clips online with Danny McCuckwin, the English, also can play for India forward, young little techie forward, left-footed, scored a hat-trick on the opening weekend of the season. Good, scored a goal last weekend as well. He's looking like he's looking like he's going to have a good season in that academy setup, and it's interesting to see With him, very, very, very. For me, it's about physicality for him. Whether he's going to break into the first team or not. Very quick, very rapid, good feet technically. But I can see where his next level is. Can he develop in his physical elements? Can he get bigger? Can he get stronger and be a much more physical threat on that pitch? And if you can build that on in the next couple months or so, maybe you can see him get into the Tottenham team. Who knows? But yeah, for him, very good, very important player for Tottenham Academy this season. Our academy haven't started off to the best of foot, much better than other clubs. One draw, one win, and one defeat. So for me, home game, I can see them doing very well against this Liverpool team. One player that I do like out of that Tottenham team is John. Yeah, England under 19. Performed very well in the games that I've seen him play. Very strong, very dynamic on the ball, good vision, and can play in that box-to-box show. So yeah, that's how that's a few of the games that we're going to talk about in the academy setup. Very, very interesting to see what is going to happen this season when it comes to a lot of these young players. And there is one young player, because I'm going to change it up this show, because we're going to start integrating the young academy players with the Premier League show. Instead of giving you 3 players to watch, I'm going to give you 1 player to watch in its entirety. And that player that I want to watch this week is the Crystal Palace under 21 captain Guy, who signed from Chelsea. Top player. I want you to watch. Reason why I want you to watch him, because he was in the Chelsea academy last season. Not a lot of people would have heard about him and known about him. He got his England under 21 captain in the last game against Kosovo, and been an immense player for Crystal Palace this season. And the reason I want you to watch him, because I want you to see the level of the academy players that you are seeing now being produced by these teams, and not only by Chelsea, but a lot of these clubs. And you're going to see that English game has a very, very good future. So don't forget watching Crystal Palace game. You see him this weekend. Don't forget to watch him. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification. Hit the bell. Don't forget, every time you go on live, you'll hit the bell and we'll come on. You got our giveaway coming out as well, guys. We are sponsored by Soulful Savage. Don't forget your 20% discount code. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you soon. Boom.